Chronicles Fam Squad. Welcome back to another vlog. Welcome to my old Gayle's Chronicles Fam Squad, and welcome to my new Gayle's Chronicles Fam Squad. And if it's your first time joining us on this platform, you can become more acquainted with us by watching previous vlogs. Now, it's been a while since I've had a sit-down talk with you all. And so today, I just want to sit down and talk with you about something that's very important to those of us as women who are in the 40 and over age. And this is all about perimenopause, or some people say premenopause. And I just want to discuss some of the symptoms that affect us as women as we head into this period. And let me tell you, it's no joking situation. Honestly, ladies. And gentlemen, listen so you can understand what it is your wives and your fiancés, your girlfriends are going through when they say to you, this is happening to me, and you are better able to relate to them and to discuss it and to deal with them. So, perimenopause, as we know, it's when our bodies start slowing down in our hormone production. Estrogen and progesterone are going to their lowest levels ever in our lives, and it throws us off. So we have imbalanced hormones, so we don't know how it is that we are going to deal with every symptom. Some people experience some of them, and some people experience all of them. So it depends on what symptom you're experiencing. Now, one of the major things that happened when I noticed I was going into this thing was the whole electric shock thing, where I could touch something and it would shock me, whether it was concrete, metal, clothing material, and it would just shock me. I would be walking and I'd just get a light shock. And sometimes I just touch something and you could hear the zzz, and I'd have to pull back. And my son would say, "Mommy, don't touch me, you shock me." Because that was a period that I was going through. I went through that for like a good almost a year, maybe a little bit over a year. I was dealing with that like non-stop. That was like maybe once per day, twice per day, I was feeling like that. Then another thing that happened to me was I developed other allergies other than what I've had over the years. So I became allergic to fish. I became allergic to peanuts. Now I have allergies to stuff that I don't even know of. I could eat something and my skin could just break out, and I don't know what it is that I ate that would have thrown me off, because those that I have recognized that I'm allergic to, I have eliminated them from my diet. So you tend to develop different types of allergies. You may even get some acne as you are going through this. That has happened to me. I've seen myself get breakouts every now and again. I'm like, come on, wasn't I done with this from teen years? But because of what's happening to your body, this is how the body reacts. Then some women experience panic attack. Some women experience bloating. I think majority of us go through that bloating stage. I've had that bloating thing, and the weight that you gain that you are trying to shed with all the exercise and the different diets you have tried, and you're saying, gosh, this is not coming off what is my best option, and I keep looking for something else that I can use to help me to shed the weight that I gain, especially around my tummy region. Yeah, and it's real, right? Then comes the pains out of nowhere. Muscle aches and pains, here so there so everywhere, paining you. And you know you went to your bed, you weren't feeling any pain. But when you get up in the morning, you're like, gosh, you feel like an old person because of what you're experiencing. But what I've recognized that as the day goes by, the pain goes by itself. So it's not a pain that is lingering with me throughout the day. I get up, I walk around a little bit, and then maybe half an hour to an hour, that pain is gone, right? Then you have to talk about the irregular periods. Sometimes you miss a month, sometimes you miss 2 months, sometimes you miss 6 months, and then bam, it's back like that. And you're like, it's either you go or you are going to be here with me. But, you know, it throws you off because sometimes you have plans and then something like that happens and you're like, oh gosh, now I have to change my plans. But the body does what the body does, and we have to deal with it. Then there is the hot flashes, and I can tell you this is like one of the worst things I've experienced. The hot flashes are there. You're hot, you're cold. You're hot, you're cold. And let me tell you, living in Canada, as much as it gets cold in the winter, when I used to have to go to work, I would be in my thick jacket and everything, and I'm going to the bus terminus. And guys, let me tell you, I would feel so hot. I want to take off everything. Serious. No matter what I put on and I go to bed to sleep, I put on the comforter or the blanket, I throw it off. Put it back on when I feel cold, and then there it is. I feel like I'm burning up and I have to throw it off. Sometimes I walk, come out of the bed, open the door, and go on the balcony just to get cool. The hot flashes are real. I used to say, my church aunties, they're fanning when you go to church. Some of my co-workers, they're fanning, those who were, who are older than me. And I was like, gosh, I don't want to experience that one. But it's all a part of us going into the next phase of our life, which is menopause, where we have paused on this menstrual cycle for the remaining portion of our lives. Then there is the sleep disturbance. The sleep disturbance where you don't sleep during for the entire night. You get up at odd hours and you're like, it's not morning yet, and those things. So some individuals experience sleep disturbance. Me, I go to my bed to sleep, I sleep. And if I get up, I have to go to the washroom, I go straight back to my bed afterwards and I'm sleeping. But some people, they don't have that luxury. They're not able to sleep straight throughout the night. So that's one symptom for some people. Then there is the brain fog. And the brain fog is real. the brain fog is so real that, let me tell you, you will go for something and you don't remember what you go for. And you have to go back to where you're coming from so you can remember, and then you walk back to get it. And that has happened to me in so that I constantly make lists so that I don't forget anything. So if I have a set of people to call for the day, I would make a list of it. If I have a set of meetings, I will make a list and say, this meeting is that time, that meeting is that time, etc. Because you tend not to remember everything. The brain fog is real. So I'm just letting you guys know what it is that as women, once you reach your 40s going up, the things you have to deal with as your hormone, the changes in your hormone occur, you know, it can be stressful if you don't know how to handle what you're going through. Then there is the nausea. And let me tell you, the first time this whole nausea thing was happening to me, I was like, gosh, I'm gone. I must be pregnant. Missed cycle, then nausea. 3 months straight, I went and I bought so many pregnancy kits because I was like, no man, I bought at the dollar store, I bought from my pharmacy, I bought at another store, different brands, because I wanted to ensure that, guess what, these things not just telling me that nothing is there and I'm going through all of this, but it was that real. And you know, you'd expect that as a healthcare professional, guess you know the textbook, but when it comes to reality and you have to deal with it, then that's a whole different ball game. Then there are the mood changes. And you know, I know guys always say, or men always say, that women are so moody when they are going through their menstrual cycle. But there are different mood changes as well as they go through premenopause or perimenopause region of their lives, this aspect of their lives that they are now stepping into. And their moods change because of the whole imbalance in their hormones. So you have to expect that sometimes they can be mellow, and sometimes they are not going to be so mellow. They are not going to be, you know, all the nicey person that you have on a daily basis. And you just have to learn to accommodate their moods as they go, and sit and speak with your spouse and say, honey, how can I help you go through what it is that you're going through, right? Then there's this whole level of fatigue. That's another symptom that they have to deal with. As well as, and fatigue, this whole tiredness, this whole don't want to do nothing, can't move myself to do nothing, you know, because of what it is that they're experiencing. And skin changes, whether some people get hyperpigmentation or hypopigmentation. So it's either areas of your skin that become clearer or they become darker. So you just have to look for that. Skin rashes, things that just come out of nowhere on your skin. And these are some of the things that are attributed to pre or perimenopause symptoms. Then there's the whole thing of libido, not having the libido she used to have before she started experiencing this whole thing. And some women go through it while others do not go through it. And it all depends on the partner you have. You understand? And I guess if you have a great partner, it does not impact you as much. And remember, the libido also is the decreased libido also is stemming from the fact that you're no longer producing estrogen and progesterone the way you used to. So these are some of the perimenopausal symptoms that women have to deal with as they go into the age group of 40 and upward. And I just wanted to sit down and just give you some of my experiences along with other things that I know of, and just put the information out there, because we need to have this discussion. We need to make it normal that as women, as we age, we go through different things, and we need to have these conversations with our spouses. We need to have these conversations with our sons to let them know what to expect in the future with their wives, their girlfriends, as they age together. So I hope this was informative to you. And remember now to like, share, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend. And I will see you on the next vlog. Thanks for watching. Love you much. Bye-bye.